Hey everybody, welcome back to Dicing with Death. Kind of cut the intro a little bit short there, but who really cares? You've all seen it 1,000 times, at least 4 times per episode. So,
I don't know if
um,
it's 1,000. This is episode 40.
40, and if you watch it 40, okay, so you've seen it at like a few hundred times. But we
Yeah.
didn't even have it that long, and but then again, sometimes we do fuck up and have to run the intro twice. And then again, sometimes we only do
Not
three
an uncommon
sections.
occurrence. So,
Well, yeah,
in Qualneer's bedroom, actually, Qualneer went to sleep in
his bedroom.
really his own bed. Okay, so
Yeah.
Qualneer is in his bed, pillow over his head. Michelle just gets brushed past by this monstrous seabird. Squawk, squawk!
A seabird. You said
Qualneer
what? I didn't even make the. I didn't even think that albatrosses were
shouts,
white. I did not.
says in the common tongue into Qualneer's ear. Qualneer, fuck, what was that guy's name? Hold on, pause. I know I took the break to think about this, but I was mesmerized by my steak. What was that asshole's name?
Sunblade.
No, I know who that is. Whatever. Qualneer, you are being watched and hunted. I advise that you return to Solstice at once. Um, I am sending someone for you south from Seagate to Ashenholt. Should not be hard to miss. Travel north with him and make haste. What the fuck was that guy's name?
Who was it?
A wizard that you guys met in Seagate. Worst DM ever.
Uh, Duke
May not be.
Matthew and Condoleezza. No, it's not Tiffindale. I don't know who Tiffindale is, but it's not them.
We never. Oh gosh, so many NPCs. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He wasn't mentioned in the note. Maybe I'll retcon it in. We'll see. So it gives that message, and then leaps off of Qualneer, who's rolling over, brushing it off. You probably don't let it get the whole message off while it's on your back.
Right.
But it sort of flops around the room. I assume you don't try to slay it.
No, no. When it starts talking.
Not like last time. And then it finishes its spiel and hops into the windowsill and
I look.
stares
Qualner
stares
looks
at
bewildered at
bewildered Michelle
Michelle.
and Qualneer.
Get the hell out of here, you stupid bird! Qualner waves his hand at the bird, ushers it out of the room, and then goes back to bed. And goes,
Mm-hmm.
ugh, God, I hope this doesn't impact my 3 HP of healing today.
No, your rest was not interrupted. You gain your first 3 HP.
Nice.
Did Michelle need any healing?
She just needs like 1 per day. She'll be fine. She's down. Well, now she's only down 1 HP. And Qualner is down 24
Yes,
HP.
it was the wizard who taught Michelle her first spells.
Right. I don't remember his name.
It was pretty generic, but maybe with a weird letter thrown around. That's how I tend to
I
come
think
up
it
with
started
names.
with a C, but I might be wrong.
No,
No.
maybe like Matthew or
No, Matthew's someone else. I have him in my notes.
Jobothan.
No, it might
Regdit.
actually have been Matthew because he's not in my notes
Matthew.
anymore.
I think it is. Let's call it that until I come. No, Shane says no. Billy the Mage. It was not Billy the
No,
Mage.
Duke Matthew of Seagate. Um,
Oh, okay. I had forgotten that name too.
and his wife is named Condoleezza.
It does sound like a name I would come up with for a Texas.
Brodnor is the half elf guy. I don't know. Whatever.
All right.
What was the question?
Continue. There was no question. I mean,
Okay,
the
cool.
morning is yours. The day is yours.
Qualneer continues to sleep. Michelle continues to do her stuff.
Do you think Michelle
She
would be
keeps in.
alarmed at all? The albatross will eventually fly off.
Oh wait, we didn't actually successfully get it out the window.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Okay.
You were able to shoot out the window.
Yeah, cool. Michelle seems a little perturbed by this. Qualneer tells her that it's fine. Don't worry. She says, "Are we going to go back to Seagate or are we going to go back to Solstice?" Qualneer says, "Not without Bloodletter." Michelle sighs and says, "I hope you know what you're doing again, or this time," and goes downstairs while Qualneer rolls his eyes and rolls over in bed.
Gareth. Gareth was his name,
There we go. That's it.
but it
G's and
wasn't.
C's look alike.
But it wasn't in the message, and I just spoiled who's coming down. Sure, it was in the message, or the albatross gave Michelle a psychic message.
There was one taped to his foot. It said
Sure.
from Gareth.
Well, no, the voice was not Gareth.
Oh, the voice wasn't Gareth. Okay. Gareth is the one that was coming.
It referred to who it referred to someone who was sent. Okay, I can remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying that this was in his
said,
voice.
Okay, yeah. No, it was in the Sunblade's voice, and it said that you're being watched, you're being hunted. He's sending Gareth south from Seagate to Ashenholt in a couple of days.
Got it. Yeah.
He should be hard to miss.
Okay, cool. Michelle keeps an eye out on the main. Is the tavern that we're staying in? Does it have a view of the main road?
There's basically just one road that runs through, and there's a line of shops and.
That's what I thought. I didn't want to assume though.
And then sprawling countryside from there.
Yeah, actually, if you guys are going to be watching this week's Koibu's Corner, you should be paying attention to this scene right now, because this is how you get the DM on your side. Be like, well, I don't want to assume that we don't have a view of the room. Ryan, do I have a view of the room, of the road? Oh, okay, cool, I do. Awesome. That's how you get the DM on your side. Don't assume. Be nice to them.
It won't always work, but you ask enough of those sort of leading questions, and you can get what you want.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't really imagined where his inn was in relation to the town.
Exactly. So you just kind of
you can incept those ideas into the DM's mind.
Anyway, getting back to the game. Yeah, so she sets up her playing and singing so she has like a view of the road and kind of makes sure that she keeps an eye out on any doors or windows that might be in that direction, and asks unless it's cold out, asks the innkeeper to leave the door open because she feel like she likes the breeze.
It is. I don't remember what time of year it is. I act erratically. I think it's cold as fuck. It's not raining and wet. He will let you leave the door open and get the hearth roaring. Like he'll light a huge ass fire. So
Okay, cool.
Fine during the day. At evening, it'll be opening throughout the night. But
oh yeah, I mean at night there's no reason to leave the door open, but during the day.
Yeah.
Okay. She offers to cover any added cost of wood.
Oh no! And he blushes and thanks her for lightening the mood around these parts.
She leans over and gives him like a kiss on the cheek or the forehead, whichever is more difficult to access. So it looks like she goes to a greater effort to do it.
Say that again.
She gives him a kiss on the cheek or the forehead,
okay.
Whichever is like farther away, so she actually has to reach out to do it. Flashes him a winning smile, goes back over and continues to play her lute, keeping an eye out.
Yeah, she sits by the fire facing the door.
Mm-hmm. And takes requests from whoever wants them.
She's not actually at that stage. She can hardly play the instrument. She's just sort of going through exercises.
Oh, okay.
It sounds good enough to listen to, but it's not like she's playing, I don't know, coherent songs yet.
Okay. Well, I mean, she can sing songs by request.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we're just going to kick back for another 8 days unless something happens.
Okay, so more of the same. Actually, you get one, so more of the same through that day. You gain another 3 HP for Qualneer and a second HP for Michelle.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then you get through the majority of the second day. And that evening, the rain is picked up again, so the door is cold. It's a small crowd, but they're huddled close, sharing many drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Struggling to stay warm as it pours outside.
And
Michelle is, I presume, entertaining the crowd with her lute. She, just about to take her dinner break. It's dark. The sun is set. An hour ago. It's that time of year.
mm-hmm.
And here in the south, the seasons are more extreme. Qualneer is up in his bedroom, or do you think he's feeling well enough to join in the public room? Bill's taken to his bedroom, but he can't exactly get pints of beer brought to him as often as he would, or glasses
right.
of wine brought to him as often as he would care to take them.
Well, he's also in kind of like, I have been running around and killing things for months. You know what?
Sure.
Fuck it. I'm gonna kick back. I'm gonna like hang out. I'm gonna read a book.
Okay. So Michelle is playing. She's sitting on this big stone hearth that's nestled in the corner of the room with a clear shot view to the door.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably a few bolder, naive young farm boys leaning close around,
Mm-hmm.
hoping to get lucky, get a kiss blown to them or whatever, and then a few of the children up close. When the door bursts open, wind bustles in. Michelle sees the silhouette of a billowing robe and a large, maybe 6.5 foot tall, long, straight staff that jets prominently over his head. And he steps in, and the door slams shut behind him, revealing a young man wearing pristine but damp white robes, save for mud splatter around the boots.
Mm-hmm.
And a long, straight steel staff with a sort of almost like a mace hilt, like four, like two planes. What do you call it? Two sheets.
Yeah, two flangs.
Two
Right?
flanges
There we go.
at the top, and a small blue bauble in between the flanges.
At the top of the flanges, or in between all of them in the middle.
In between all the flanges in
Okay.
the middle. Yeah.
Cool.
Michelle, twink, twink, twink. Probably a little shocked to see this figure walk in, as everyone is, and they all turn to face.
Except no one else got a magic bird telling him that he was coming.
Yeah. And he throws off his hood, shakes back some damp hair, revealing the face of Gareth, the young, aspiring diviner.
I should have had music playing this whole time.
Oh, yeah.
I have the perfect song for this, too, and I just...
Damn it, Neil. Worst DJ ever.
Worst DJ ever. Do not hire me for your wedding. Actually, you could. I would just pass it off to Lauren. She's a great DJ. Yeah, I'm a terrible DJ. You could hire my wife, though. Anyway,
You're better than I am. I'm too lazy to even figure, well...
just don't let Scott put on the music. Oh my god.
So past the silent patrons, Gareth struts, tapping his staff along the wooden floor as he approaches Michelle. The men and children around you sort of scatter.
Okay. Michelle kind of gets up nonchalantly and heads to
giving her a forced smile.
Yeah. She kind of gets up and pretends not to be getting up because of him, and proceeds back towards a window on away from the fire, as if she needs a bit of fresh air.
Sure. It's a small,
opens the window and kind of
can find a quiet corner.
Sticks her head out the window, or rests looking out the window, and waits for the companion to join him.
Yeah, you can find some privacy to talk, but everyone's eyes are on a pair of you.
Okay.
He puts a hand on the small of her back. It's good to see you again, Michelle.
What it brings you?
The Sunblade requests that I come, although I can't say I haven't been advising some intervention for a little while.
What is that dangers us?
Well, what convinced him is the Bastards riders, who are making it this way and should arrive within a day or two. However, you have been watched for quite a while.
How many
I
riders?
wanted to tell you, but it wasn't my decision to make.
How many writers?
Oh, he has several dozen, more than we would want to deal with.
Qualneer's not going to like this. Do you know that he lost his little toy, that bloodletter of his?
I heard.
He's not going to be happy.
Will you tell him?
I think it's best you go speak to him. Let
Very
you be
well.
the messenger.
Can you order me a warm cider?
Yes, yes, I'll have it sent up to you. And she relays directions to his room.
Okay. As soon as he turns around, the entire crowd goes hushed, and they watch him as he walks through the center of the room, up the staircase to Qualneer's bedroom.
Okay. Michelle goes up to the bar, orders some wine for herself, and asks that some warm cider be brought to Qualneer. She specifically says, like, bring it to Qualneer. Then she goes back to the window for like 20 minutes. And if the guys are not done by the 20 minutes, then she'll go back to playing her instrument by the fire.
Okay. So Gareth enters Qualneer's room. Qualneer may
She
not
doesn't
even
enter Qualneer. That's
Not
been
enter
done
Qualneer.
once already.
Qualneer actually doesn't even recognize him. I don't think, unless you would disagree. You've met him maybe a couple. You met him at a garden party, and then you met him again at Solstice.
I saved his life at a garden party.
Yeah. Okay.
The Solstice memory is not very strong with Qualneer, but the garden party one is.
His vision is hazy. He's basically asleep.
Yeah.
He's like, "Who's this?"
Michelle, I'm sleeping.
Gareth approaches, tapping his staff on the floor as he walks over.
Qualneer rubs his eyes and goes, "What? Who? Oh, you're that guy. What's his name sent? Sunblade."
Feel slapping on your cheeks,
What?
forehead. Qualneer, I think you've been drugged. He's a couple of fingers jab into your neck. You try to swipe them away, but you find yourself sort of struggling to find the arm.
What? Can I not? Am I?
I mean, you don't appear very alert. He's
No.
snapping in front of your eyes.
What?
And
Huh?
What?
Huh?
Trace my finger. And yeah.
Okay. Can he
You're
wake
feeling
up at
pretty
all?
disoriented. But, yeah.
Okay.
He pulls a chair over next to you.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been poisoned?
No. I'm just. Dude. I'm sleeping. Okay, fine. I'm waking up. What do you need from me, huh?
We need to make ready to go tomorrow morning, if possible.
I can't leave. I need to. I have unfinished business.
I've been sent to tell you that you are being chased. You are being pursued. The bastard's riders are on his way north as we speak.
Bastard? What does he want with me?
Nearly 24 of them. I don't know.
I have no qualms with him. If anything, he should be writing to thank me. And if the bastard's riders are coming, that means bloodletter's coming to me. We're definitely staying now.
Do you have a... Who has been tending to you? He said.
There's it's a healer in town. Old man...
Is he back next? Of course.
Old man Crudgel.
We will speak in the morning. Get some rest. And he storms out of the room, shutting the door, leaving Qualneer alone in the dark in the evening. He will go find Michelle and figure out when the physician is coming back next. And alert Michelle that Qualneer has been drugged by the doctor.
She asks...
He's healing just fine, but he's clearly doping Qualneer.
She frowns. He didn't really like the sight of him to begin with.
And the doctor will be coming by shortly, actually. It's about dinner time. Michelle is about to take a break to eat,
She mentions
and
to him that the doctor will be coming shortly. Then,
so you can do with this information as you will.
yeah.
Qualneer's fine. I mean, I would impose penalties on most rolls he would make at this point. But yeah. He probably doesn't even realize. He thinks he's just resting up. He took a beating in battle.
Mm-hmm.
He is healing. All the HPs are real here.
Okay. Okay.
On narcotics.
Fun narcotics or not fun narcotics?
Fun narcotics, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever had major surgery or anything like that?
Yeah, but
Or even like your wisdom teeth removed and been dosed?
I mean, I sprained my ankle badly enough to get Vicodin,
yeah.
and
So
I've had some internal injuries.
The little equivalent of that.
But you know what? I've never actually. I know I've had friends that have said that it's been fun or like pleasant for them to take Vicodin, but I just get like super tired and pass out.
Okay, yeah. So that's what happened to Qualneer.
Yeah.
He is.
Qualneer's me, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
While elves are immune to magical sleep and charm.
By the way, kids, no narcotics are fun narcotics. Don't do drugs, okay?
Unless they're prescribed by the pharmaceutical industrial complex.
Or they're legal and socially acceptable, like alcohol. That's a totally fine drug to do, apparently.
Bottoms up.
Oh, God. One of these days, these VODs are going to come to bite me in the ass. I'm going to run for, like, small town mayor or something, and someone's going to dig these things up.
No one is ever going to make it through however many 100 hours.
No, there's going to be some hardcore fans going to be like, oh, look, it's Neil! He used to do all this stuff! And, like, post all these ridiculous things and get me screwed, man. These things are going to kill me one day. I know it.
I think the better social media strategy is just the shotgun approach, where you don't have to worry about your reputation because there's just so much content out there.
Just keep streaming all the time.
Never say anything so offensive. You've streamed so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can find anything in that many hours.
Or you can just, claim that it was all part of the ruse to draw on people. Anyway, we're very, very tangential tonight.
Yeah, that's what happens when I've finished most of this beer, and it's a Dubel. It's like a Belgian style something or other. It's got 8% alcohol by volume.
Ooh.
Tipsy DMs lead to falling forks.
Yeah, I might have to go make myself a White Russian.
So dinner comes for Michelle, but not. I guess he gets his spiced wine. He will eventually seek out food, but they bring him. They serve him after everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
He and Michelle, I guess, get a table and catch up. Is there anything you wish to do before the doctor arrives?
I don't think so. No, that's it. Yeah, we just make small talk. I don't think Michelle has anything.
Dinner, your plates are cleared.
Michelle plays nice with him, treats him well, politely. They, tries to have a good time socializing with him.
Color spray spell has done her wonders.
It has. She mentions all the times that it's come in handy, and hints that if there was anything else like that, she could always use more spells.
He says when things quiet down, he'd be happy to show her a trick or two.
She would love for him to show her a trick or two. She might even show him a trick or two that she's picked up along the way. Of course she won't. She's just using him.
So within about 45 minutes, the doctor comes back in and immediately starts bumbling towards the stairs.
Okay. Michelle, once the guy gets towards the stairs, gets up and just kind of nods and walks towards the stairs as well.
Okay. Gareth follows behind Michelle. The doctor turns, gives Michelle a nod. Looks startledly at Gareth, but makes for the staircase anyways.
Okay. Michelle and Gareth just follow him up.
Okay. He goes first to Alwell's room.
Okay.
Michelle would know that he usually spends maybe 10 minutes with each of them in the evening.
Okay. She kind of stands outside, or she and what's his name go into the room where Qualneer is, while the other guy's in Allwell's room.
So they're waiting in Qualneer's room.
Yeah, and with the door shut.
Okay.
Hopefully, waiting without the other guy noticing.
Yeah, he doesn't notice you as you walk past. Eventually, the door to Qualneer's room opens. Qualneer is dozing in the bed. Michelle and Gareth, where are they positioned within the room?
Visible. They're not like hiding around the corner, but they're like just kind of standing. One of them at the
I
window, one of
assume
them sitting at the bedpost.
you got have a candle lit or something like that.
Yeah. Sorry about the loud noise.
That's fine. I apologize profusely for eating my steak on stream, and Neil just opens wrappers right in front of us. Oh my goodness, is that a sausage? Oh no, he's showing me up. Wow, Twitch, you gotta change your terms of service to get on this. Viewers, why are you not rioting? Send in your complaints. Contact Twitch customer service immediately. This is out of hand. There are children watching. So Michelle and Gareth are standing around the hotel room, and the physician bursts in. He's a little startled to see you all there, but he approaches Qualneer and begins to tend to him.
Michelle and Gareth. Well, I guess Michelle nods to Gareth for him to make his move.
Make his move. He looks at Michelle as like, well, what plan? What? Move? I don't have any moves. And the physician, he just changes Qualneer's bandages, cleans him up a little bit.
Michelle steps forward
nothing
towards
particularly out
him.
of the ordinary.
Michelle steps forward towards him and says, "Have you been drugging him?"
No. Why would you say that?
Are you lying to me?
No.
Why are you drugging him?
Can we speak in the...
Gareth, go shut the door. Stay inside.
No. In the hall, he points to Qualneer.
She rolls her eyes and they all exit the hallway. Exit into the hallway.
He says, actually, perhaps in here. And he gestures towards Allwell's room.
She lets out an audible groan and goes into the next room.
He lights a few candles and points to Allwell's neck. Points out the bite marks on Allwell's neck to Michelle and to Gareth. They've been healing for about 2 days now, but they're still unmistakably human bite marks. And I say, I think that Qualneer is a vampire. I've heard stories of undead creatures like this who feast upon the lifeblood of the living.
First off,
did you see how pale he was? His hair is bone white. Hers is now too. And his finger starts to shake. Did you see how pointy his ears are? His flesh is already starting to transform.
Michelle says, "This is his sister. They're elves. And we just fought many men to recover her from her captors. They did this to her."
Elves? Here?
Elves. He's an elf. She's an elf.
Shh.
Look how tall they are. Look at their ears. Do you see their fine fingers and limbs? Can you really not tell the difference between an elf and a vampire?
I've had it with you people. He owes me some amount of gold. I'm done. I quit.
What? They're elves! You can't quit. We need you. They're normal people. Gareth, can you make him understand?
This, how am I supposed to do that?
Just keep healing them like you've been healing them. Just treat them like you treat anyone else.
He is gathering his belongings and making for the door. The physician is.
Michelle says, please, would you continue to see to him? He's in need of a trained healer.
He's in need of a priest.
Yes, he is, but since there's no priest around, we need you to tend to him. I promise you, he's not a vampire. You've seen him come in during the daylight. You've seen it.
If I'm going to tend to him, he stays drugged.
Do you really think your drugs would work on a vampire?
I don't know, but I don't want to risk it.
What if I tie him to the bed when you show up?
Kinky. Okay. Deal.
Good. All right.
Make sure he's tied
Here.
tomorrow morning when
No,
I
no.
arrive.
But you still need to tend to him tonight. I'll go tie him up right now.
He's fine. He's fine.
Okay. All right.
But he's not drugged. So if he attacks you in the night, I won't hesitate to have the constable put you down. As pretty as you are.
Thank you. What did you say your name was?
I can't remember my own name. I'm a country bumpkin doctor physician. You think it's easy to keep all this medical knowledge in this pea brain? He leaves.
All right. So Michelle looks at Gareth and says, I don't know what those bite marks are. There may be a kernel of truth in what he says. What do you know about this matter? What do you know about this Sturge fellow?
He takes a look at Alwell for the first time, inspecting her neck, and then inspecting the bruises on her temple. I think she just looks a little beat up. I mean, people bite in fights, right? This doesn't look. I mean,
Yeah,
this couldn't be a vampire, could it?
I mean, I always thought vampires had fangs and you had holes, not like whole huge bites, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Just checking.
Sturge? Well,
What do you know about
an
him?
unsavory fellow. I mean, what? He was a slum, or what do you, a mobster, a gangster, an outlaw. What do you mean? What do I know about him? He's a scumbag, and Qualneer did him right.
Okay. Well,
But now,
do you
it
know
seems
exactly
that-
when the riders arrive? Will it be tomorrow, the day after that?
Depends how good time they make. Could be tomorrow. Could be the day after that.
Well, can you help us in the battle? Or do you think that you can convince him to leave?
Well, I came to get you guys out of here.
But you could take on... I mean, you're a powerful wizard. You could fight a half-dozen horsemen or a dozen horsemen by yourself, right? You can throw fireballs.
He shakes his head.
Shoot lightning bolts from your fingertips? Create an invisible wall, or just summon a wall to prevent them from entering town.
You guys are you guys are hanging out in the hallway right now. No. I'm only an apprentice. He says.
I thought you were a great and powerful wizard.
Well, there may be a few tricks in this baby. And he sort of taps
the staff?
Yeah, he said, Alistair lent it to me. I've never touched it before.
Hmm.
Before a week or so ago. But I don't know. I'll have to think. I'm not really trained for battle, he says. Not that this comes as a surprise to Michelle.
Hmm.
I mean, I can read their minds and maybe track their movements, but
No, no. I hope you have some convincing words then. He really loved that dagger, and I don't think he'll give it up easily.
well, it's your decision to make.
We should go. We shouldn't stay. It is better to live today than to die for minor trifles, but then again, this is our friend we're talking about here. He lives for minor trifles.
If you think Michelle can convince Qualneer, then you can go. Otherwise, up to you.
I'm trying to find a way for Michelle to convince Qualneer, but he's got his heart set on this. In fact, he would say that he could talk his way into getting his dagger back. He's pretty convinced of that matter. So how does Michelle convince Qualneer that he shouldn't walk up to the Baron or to the Bastard with his like weapons at his side but not drawn and be like, "Hi, I want to talk to you. I'm Qualneer. Blah blah blah. Let's work together. I'm going to take your dagger, kill you, and then right away." That's what his plan would be. How does she convince him that's a terrible idea? There's 36 of them. They're all on horseback. She turns to look at Gareth. Why? And then motions to go back into Qualneer's room. Why? Why are they coming after Qualneer? You say he's being watched, but for what?
He checks to make sure that Qualneer is asleep. Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. I think these are unrelated pieces of information. Qualneer's been watched for quite a long time. Before you even came to the south.
By whom?
I don't know, he says. Is that his? He points to Qualneer's backpack on the ground.
She nods.
All right. He digs through it and...
She interrupts him and will dig through on her own and pull things out. But he doesn't just let him rifle through Qualneer's crap.
Okay.
She's a loyal friend.
What does she pull out?
She pulls out everything. Clothes, elven chain mail, rat cleaver, darts, lockpicks, ink vials, scroll case, red sealing wax, blue sealing wax, chalk, personal seal, flint and steel, quill, good lock and key, paper, leather favor, letter from the sea wench, local area map, blood letter is no longer there, and a magic short sword and a potion of heroism. Because the grappling hook and the rope are left on top of the Ashenholt Tower.
He scratches his chin. And you've got Qualneer's belongings poured out on the floor, and he says, "It's not here."
What is it?
A small bauble on a string. Small polished sphere. A little magical item. Quite innocuous in appearance, but a hag's eye nonetheless.
I have a bauble necklace. Okay, there's also a bunch of gems and shit. Most of that was left back at... No, I mean, I guess he did...
In his coin. It's probably in his coin purse. Would Michelle realize that at this point?
Yeah, I mean, she knows that he would keep all of his wealth in this certain area, so she starts digging through the area that's wealth and like pulls out gems and rubies and pearl necklaces.
Yeah,
and eventually like comes to the bauble necklace that was pulled off the troll.
Yeah, it's just a string with a small polished blue quartz sphere on a string.
Yeah.
Looks like an ordinary stone.
Yeah, she pulls it
I
out
think
and like keeps pulling stuff
Michelle had
out.
maybe even detected that it was magical in the past, but not
Yeah.
been able to figure out what it was.
Yeah, I believe so.
He says, that's been watching you for weeks, months.
What does it report to? She says, flipping it over.
I don't know.
Should we break it? Should we destroy it?
You could try. Probably won't work.
What
So
if I throw it into the fire downstairs?
Then it will probably watch the fire for all eternity.
She picks it up and says, is there any way to muffle it? If I wrap it in cloth? Put it in a box?
I don't think it works like that. Maybe a metal box. Or
A lead box?
a lead box. Do you have a lead box?
Qualneer has a... No. I don't, but perhaps a goldsmith in town may. We could put it in his vault. Or, you know, have someone make us a lead box and store it in a vault until then.
That could work. In any case, the riders are separate, I believe. I saw them moving this direction shortly after Sturge fell. Or rather, Alistair did.
Are you sure they're not headed to Ashenholt itself? They may just be simply trying to reclaim Ashenholt.
No. No, many foot soldiers have been entering and leaving the city. Well, mostly entering. But no, he told me that the riders were making their way north. You know, bouncing from ranch to farm to farm, taking their sweet time, but heading steadily in this direction.
Well, she mumbles. You know, she holds this. We could always tell Qualneer that this gem has seen and heard everything and reported it back to the bastard. Then the bastard would know his plans, and then he wouldn't be able to talk his way into it.
In truth, we don't know for certain.
It might be a lie or a half lie, but I think it would accomplish our means.
You know him better than any, I suppose. I leave this decision to you.
I'll do it in the morning when he wakes up.
Okay.
All right.
Gareth gets his own room.
Okay. And we all crash out.
Okay.
Qualneer gains 3 HP.
All right. Without his daily drug dose, he actually wakes up much more alert and ready to go the following morning.
Okay.
Feeling rested and ready to. He's totally unaware to all the drama.
Yeah, completely oblivious.
He's rearing to go. He's at what, like 9 HP? 10,
No, 12.
12 HP.
Yeah.
So he's feeling ready to kick some ass. He's already starting to plan how he's going to track down these bandits and get Bloodletter back.
Michelle comes in and goes, "Ah, Qualneer. I think there's something you should know. I was finally able to identify that bauble you pulled off the troll. Remember this one?" She says, holding it up. Oh yeah, you're not Qualneer. I'm Qualneer.
Qualneer's your character.
For some reason, I was like expecting you to play Qualneer.
Your opportunity to talk to yourself.
Qualneer goes, yeah. What about it? And she says, well, it appears that this is some sort of seeing and listening device, and it doesn't look good. Fuck, I just forgot his name. What's the dude who just showed up? His name?
Gareth.
Gareth, thank you. Apparently, the bastard of Ashenholt is on his way here to find us, and has been using this little bauble to spy on us somehow. Qualneer goes, what? It's impossible. We got that off a troll. It's nowhere near here. She goes, well, it's a magic scrying device. It exists in one place, and those who know of it can use it. You don't have to be the owner of the device. Qualneer scratches his head. She says, I don't know what you want to do, but they know where we are and what we're up to. I don't think we can talk our way out of this, especially because this thing here hears and sees all. We need to trap it in a lead box or something to keep it silent. Qualneer takes it out in his hand and goes, well, we should get rid of it first off and then plan our move. She asks him if instead he'd like to keep it on the off chance that maybe they could use it later. And a little twinkle in Qualneer's eye goes, and he grabs Michelle kind of by her skirts and pulls her over to the bed and goes, that's why I like you. And gives her a big kiss. And says, all right.
Awfully close to masturbation. I think I'm going to cut you off here and some sort of action.
And he gets up and says, all right, let's leave. But let's find a lead box on the way out.
Okay. Yeah, it costs a pretty penny. Actually, you go to a blacksmith and you're able to find a steel lockbox, and Gareth tells you that'll probably do.
Okay.
So let's say 15 silver.
Okay.
And you put the bottle inside.
Yep. What is the weight of the box?
Just a pound, let's say. So I think the bauble was an asterisk at this point, or previously,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So maybe add it as a pound for the bauble in a lockbox, right?
A pound? That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I don't know. I don't care. I mean, it only needs to be like a thin layer of steel, I believe,
Okay.
to block magical scrying. But who knows? To the best of Gareth's judgment, this will do.
Okay. Qualneer gathers his shit, gets Allwell up, asks if she is able to move.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she is well rested, a little delirious, but most of her bruises are fading.
Qualneer grumbles about not having Hank and sets off to find a new carriage man. Or, sets off to ask the innkeeper to bring a carriageman around.
A carriage? I'm afraid I don't know that there are any.
You have no carriage drivers in this town? What sort of
None
backwater establishment is this?
I mean, you probably missed the merchants heading out for the morning. Maybe if you're patient, you can catch a caravan tomorrow.
No. You probably won't want to be here either. Rumor has it the bastard himself is coming up with 36 of his riders. We're trying to get out of town ahead of time.
The riders?
That said, do you have any horses for sale?
Me?
Yeah, you.
No, but this check with Barnaby over at the stables. Wait, you said?
The bastard might be coming with 36 of his riders to this town tomorrow or today. I don't know. We gotta go. You can have the rest of the money for the rooms. See you later.
Martha, board the windows. Where's my crossbow?
Right,
and yeah.
Yeah. So
You're able to locate Barnaby at the stables. Purchase horses at. Are you just looking for riding horses?
Yeah, just riding horses.
2, 3.
We'll need. We have 4 people. We'll need 3. We might need 4. You know what? If I buy a riding horse for 75 gold, I could probably sell it for 75 gold, right? Maybe not for 75, but I should be able to sell it for a good penny, right? Like, wouldn't be a wasted investment. If I bought,
as long as you keep it alive, you could probably sell it for.
Yeah.
Michelle rules at the shit. Are you kidding?
Yeah, it'll be fine. We go by 4 riding
If you really
horses.
wanted, you might be even be able to make a profit off of buying a horse out here in the country and selling it in Seagate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
All right. So if they're actually 75 gold each, then we buy 4, or 75 gold each, we buy 4.
Uh, yeah, sure. If you probably approach him and you're like 4 horses. You're doing this math out loud. Would be my guess, and he's like, "Fuck yeah, 300 gold. Take these 4 horses right here." You buy like 3/4 of the stables up, but
Okay.
he's happy to see that much gold. I mean, this is
I give
sort of
him 30
a job.
platinum coins and say, hey, just so that money doesn't end up in the wrong hands, the Bastard of Ashenholt and all of his horsemen are coming here in a few hours, maybe tomorrow, which is why we're taking these horses on such short notice, and I really would hate to see 30 platinum coins fall into his hands, so you best round up your folk and get the hell out of town.
Thank you, master.
Take care! He hops on his horse, the others hop on their horses, and they make for Seagate. Or, well, if that's where What's-His-Face told us that we should go.
Yeah, I mean Gareth is with you.
Yeah, Gareth, should we go to Seagate?
Yes, we should. That's probably the fastest way to get on a ship and get out of this get off this drastic island.
Okay. Let's go.
Qualneer's given up hope on Bloodletter so easily.
I don't know about so easily. I think that will be revisited, but in this situation, he doesn't. I don't see.
Yeah.
Under the impression
So
that the enemy has seen everything you've done and heard everything you've done, you can't talk your way out of it. You can't fight your way out of it. You need to come in when they're not expecting you, and if they're expecting me, that's a problem.
Sure. Yeah. You trot your way north along the road. 9:01. I think we started late, so we should probably keep going, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what you have in mind. If you have more encounters in mind, then we should probably break here and keep going. But if it's pretty much get to Seagate, go home, we could wrap up here. You know, we could just you could story tell the remainder, and we could wrap up here and roll your character on stream right now.
Are we really pushing it that far?
I don't know.
That hard?
It's an option. We don't have to.
Let's discuss over the break and surprise our viewers in about 5 minutes.
All right. Well, we'll see what we're gonna do when we come back, guys, because we really don't know yet. Bye bye. Take care.